Your hat, if you had a hat, call home.
I hang it out in the streets.
And where do you sleep at night?
I sleep on the alleys.
Where will you be sleeping?
In the nearest old empty truck or empty car, which is quite uncomfortable.
They don't have a home, a roof over their head. They're usually without funds entirely, and they get their food, they get their socialization, they get their love and acceptance in places like this.
And the place is a storefront in the Allentown section of Buffalo on Hudson Street called Friends of the Night People, where its director, veteran social worker Tom Harmon, provides a bit of hope and dignity for the poorest of the poor.
The Friends of Night People is a 100% charity. We receive from a generous public the funds, the food, and the used clothing that are the backbone of our program. If we did not receive this, we wouldn't exist.
Who are the night people? Where do they come from? What kind of backgrounds do they have?
Overwhelmingly, over 80% of our homeless poor and our street people are our own sons and daughters. The night people are any people who, through lifestyle, through personal problems, through poverty, tend to collect on the streets. It's clearly at least 7,000 homeless and possibly more during the warmer weather.
It seems very hard to believe that here in Erie County we have people who are homeless and starving.
Yes, it is possible, Fran. It's especially distressing because years ago, homelessness was generally characterized by some level of fault on the part of the homeless person. Overwhelmingly, it was the problem of the street alcoholic, for instance. Today, however, it's the vulnerable elements of our population, such as deinstitutionalized psychiatric cases, women with small children, elderly persons. Now, in each of these instances, we're going to be talking about an individual who hit the streets because of problems in the social service delivery network, delays in establishing public assistance cases. This results in women and children's homelessness.
Babies homeless?
Yes. Infants in arms are homeless at an alarming rate in this city. The mother's homelessness may be temporary because she's waiting to establish a public assistance case. The individuals involved are not really at fault, and it is an increasing problem. The social agencies are doing the best they can, but we're facing cutbacks everywhere, and it is very hard to deliver higher levels of service with declining levels of revenue.
Yesterday we were out of everything. I got some bread, and we had rye bread and butter when we ran out.
Fine. So this is sort of a it makes up the difference there when your check runs out.
And a lot of times my check, no, not that. It comes every week because I'm on a budget, but it comes late sometimes.
Well, it's nice to know that
it didn't come yesterday, and we were counting on it. So we headed for here.
A luncheon menu of wieners and sauerkraut plus dessert drew a handful of patrons on a hot and muggy summer day. Do you have a place to live?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You have a place to live?
Yeah.
This helps you get you a couple of square meals in there.
Yeah. Because I don't have a kitchen in my house, and it's hard for me to get a good meal, a hot meal.
We are called an on-site dining room, and that's a soup kitchen. But soup kitchens put you out after you've had your meal. We stay open and operate as a drop-in center, a haven, an alcohol-free, drug-free, safe environment for homeless and street people, a place of acceptance and hope, sharing and human contact, which is vitally needed by the people. This last winter, when the weather was bitterly cold, even though we scarcely had the resources to do it and didn't know where the money was coming from, we began sheltering people overnight in our facility to keep them from freezing to death, because there are people who are part of the shelter underclass and are not accepted at the other shelter charities because of alcoholism or supposed psychiatric difficulties.
Ready?
Hi. How you doing?
Hey.
I've been healthy.
How many people you figure come in?
Well, we ate about 160.
And we got one terrific meal. What do you got here?
Well, we had roast chicken, potatoes and gravy, green beans. We're having sliced pears for dessert, and when that runs out, I think we have a little sherbet.
Does this happen every night?
Every 7 days a week.
So far, you haven't run out of food.
No, thanks to a generous community.
That's wonderful.
If you get some bread over there, put some gravy on your plate. Right here's some over there.
This tiny park at Edward and Pearl is called the Banks Hotel by the night people because the embankment shelters them during the night.
These are slotted benches and are not the most comfortable, so you need to have a piece of cardboard or something to go over the slots. And of course the space underneath can be used to store the plastic bags of possessions. It's wise to sleep on your shoes so that they'll still be there in the morning. And you got to get here early because the hotel fills up pretty quickly.
No reservations.
No reservations.
First come, first serve?
First come, first serve, and you've got to be strong enough to hang on to your spot once you've got it.
Sort of like the invisible poor.
Yes. Frequently, people with the best of intentions will see some of the long-term homeless of Buffalo on street corners as they're on their way into work or going home at night. But we all tend to look away.
City of good neighbors. Well, how can a viewer help you?
Essentially, the three traditional needs of the Friends of Night People are for food and clothing to give to the poor, for small sums of money to keep our lights on and our doors open. And lastly, we need volunteers, people who wish to become personally involved and become a part of the solution. That we are seen as that place where you go when nobody else wants you. That's all right by us, because really, in the 18-year history of the Friends of Night People, that's what we are.